Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my YouTube members, Tinky. Thanks for your support. Now I know that everyone has been waiting for this. We're all bored of harpoon fishing, of doing mini games, of just catching up with the game. We want to see something new, exciting, and have some new banners to summon on as well. And so we do have, as of tomorrow, 24 hours from now, update 2.13.100, Wanderer in the Vortex and the Road to Thunder. So this is going to be a completely brand new App Store or Play Store update. So hopefully iOS will get it a couple hours earlier than everyone else. If not, hopefully we all get it a little bit earlier than we usually do. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So, if you haven't already, make sure you catch the trailer as well as some information from the live stream from Scott, aka our official Another Eden Global channel. And the Wanderer in the Vortex is what they call an Apocrypha. So it's something like a time loop where you get to replay certain things over and over again. I guess this is almost like another altered reality. And so obviously you can see, you can read about the time vortex and how different things can occur in this reality. So keep in mind that this is meant for those who are still relatively new to the game, as well as all of us veterans who've been playing for many years. You only have to finish chapter 22 of the main story. So we'll see how the difficulty level of the game is. I imagine that if it's accessible so early in the game, it must be relatively straightforward, or at least lower in difficulty, hopefully similar to the original Mythos, as opposed to some of the newer content where everything is kind of like level 75, level 80, and so on and so forth. That being said, Nona, I believe, is a 4-star character that we all get for free. Looking forward to see what kind of abilities and moves she has. I know that the AE Wiki does have some information on her, but as a 4-star, let's be honest, although she's free, I'm expecting her to be upgraded to a 5-star sometime in the near future. Also really reminds me of Little Red Riding Hood, which I'm sure is the point of the developers and the game designers. Now, that being said, this new banner tomorrow is a big hype. A lot of people are probably saving tons and tons of stones, as well as going to go all in or go broke, I guess, depending on how things go. I know a lot of you have mentioned you have 10k, 15k, 20k stones, and of course, many of us are also in the 100 stones, 1k stones, and broke, and so on and so forth. That being said, Orlea is our first Thunder Zone unit. Actually, this banner features 2 Thunder Zone units, and Orlea is an extremely powerful, I won't say broken, but extremely powerful character nonetheless. Now, one thing about Thunder Zone is it is an elemental zone. It does increase thunder damage by 30%, and it decreases shade damage by 30%. However, it doesn't affect any other elements. And so if you're using this zone to kind of protect yourself, you'll have to keep in mind that it's not as high protection, just like other elemental zones, unlike weapon zones who actually protect you against, you know, the other weapon types. Keep in mind that for AF charge, normally in zone, you get 7.5% charge per successful move that aligns with the zone, in this case Thunder. However, Thunder Zone is a little bit different, that it only gets 5% gain from Thunder moves, and it gives you 10% gain from Thunder moves during AF. So for those who have Melissa or AS Hardy, aka Flash Strike, you'll know how powerful 10% charge is. On the first turn with Flash Strike, you do get to 10% charge, and you can have that long first turn setup to do whatever you want, to either set up your team, set up your boss and debuffs, bring the boss to an HP stopper. If you're earlier to the game, you can probably kill the boss or enemies outright. And speaking about first turn AFs, guess what? Orlea can set Thunder Zone without a VC, can use a move that does a preemptive Thunder Zone, and also, why not, give type resistance, which is an Aurora Force shield of all party members by 50%. Not sure if it's for 3 turns or whatnot, but either way, that is pretty darn good to start. Not only that, she can actually awaken zone or lock in zone by herself. She does have I'll say a weaker fire slash attack, because she is an axe user. Against enemies that are weak to fire, it'll be a large modifier, but however, that is very situational. So I wouldn't consider her primarily as a fire unit, mostly as a thunder unit, and she does that very well as a thunder zone unit. She's extremely good at setting up, very good support, gives power, int, and speed 50% to all members, and in thunder zone, why not 100% to everything. So wow, that is powerful. Not to mention, of course, weapon damage of all party members 30, and her damage herself is relatively low. However, she does have heal. She has dual debuff. She can inflict break in thunder zone. Why not? Also, if she starts in your front line, gives hold ground to everyone, which is great. And also, if she's in the front line at the start of battle, she'll give an extra activation of Lunatic for all main and party reserve party members. And so, you know, if you have a Lunatic based team, and thunder zones, thunder type units are generally Lunatics, you know, either the charge or the static, that means you can activate an extra time, which is another 3 turns if the battle even lasts that long. Very, very, very powerful, extremely great support, defensive, offensive, and so on and so forth. And then we get to ES Miyu, extra style Miyu. Obviously, there is the normal and AS. She is going to be a lance user this time, and she plays extremely well with Orlea. Keep in mind that ES Miyu is a Thunder Zone setter as well, although if you have both of them together, you technically don't have to VC in Miyu to set zones, since Orlea can do it with a preemptive move. She has some sort of special move called Fury Storm, where when she activates her Lunatic, she has a more powerful stance, which is basically increase all her stats by 50, making her extremely powerful. She also increases her physical resistance of herself by 50%, making her a little bit of a tank, as well as very powerful moves. However, she can only do this for 3 turns, after which she'll take 100% guaranteed HP damage, which means she'll die. Now, if you move her to the back, or if you have hold ground, aka through Orlea, she'll survive with 1 HP, in which case, very, very good combo. Miyu ES is our first unit that can do damage that is not only guaranteed critical, can ignore barriers. Now, I'm sure some of you have watched some Japan videos against fights like, for example, Murphy or Lavager, where the enemy has, 100% barrier. Guess what? Miyu ES can bypass that and just deal tons and tons of damage. Keep in mind that during the EF, when you are using Thunder Zone units in Thunder Zone, or even outside Thunder Zone, you can get a very high AF combo meter, in which case you can do massive amounts of damage in AF with all your Thunder units. Obviously, some of you have already seen AS Victor, ES Molina, even, Silver Striker, aka, there's tons and tons and tons of combos available with this new Thunder Zone. One last thing to mention. Remember, the Thunder Zone is an elemental zone. You can use Nakoko and RCF. They will change to Thunder Zone, and you can use their abilities and strengths to help bolster your team as well. Alright, so of course we only have chapter 1. I don't know if this is only 3 chapters. There's going to be another dungeon, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. And of course some more rewards, being that there'll be new mobs and so on and so forth. Now, there is another feature here called the Time Twisted Maze, which is not another dungeon. This is a dungeon that is basically like, I'll say like a rogue-like fight. So if you guys have played things like Soul Knight, for example, or for example, for myself, I've played something called Lufia 2 back in the 90s. That is also a JRPG. You go in with your units, and they start at level 1 no matter how high they are outside the dungeon. You gather materials and weapons and stuff inside the dungeon, some of which can be used inside the dungeon, some of which can actually bring out permanently back to the real world, so to speak. And so this is basically a play off that. I believe you can also earn a special unit that you can upgrade over time as well, which we'll see if they feature that or not. Note that this does not need red or green keys. You just play it separately, unlimited, which can go pretty crazy if you have a lot of time on your hands. And this is the guy you are able to grind from this maze, Noxus. I think this is spelled differently from the Japan version, which I think is just called Noxus. So anyways, not really sure how you feel about the spelling. Let me know in the comments below. I like the Noxix I don't really like that OAH part, but whatever. I mean, you know, the translations from Japan to English can be challenging at times. All right, so for those who spend money, of course, there are Fatefuls, obviously up to 3 times. I'm wondering if it's going to be 10% chance for each of Orlea and ES Miyu. There is going to be a Star Dream. So for you who are light spenders, for you who are still new to game, or even if you're really end game and you're just missing that 1 or 2 units that you want to add, Star Dreams are the best value out there for the price of a ticket, which is a Heaven subscription ticket or a paid 10 pull. You can now select any unit in the game, and note that this is as of version 2.13.1, which means Orlea and ES Miyu will be selectable. That's going to be crazy. Now, in my video tomorrow in the Should You Summon, I'll discuss briefly my thoughts about the units that you can pick depending on your journey through the game. Obviously, if you're end game, you have more units, you might choose something differently than someone who's relatively new to the game and needs a unit to kind of bridge that gap from some of the more difficult content even in the early going. And for those who are fans of Amy, and I know there is one of my subscribers, MPG, I believe, he is a big fan of Amy, so you can go buy these cat equipment as well. Alright, for the rest of us, free or otherwise, we are still collecting 50 stones at a time instead of 20. It'll only last another 10 days or so, so make sure you log in every day, watch your videos if you can, because we all need as many stones as we can for this banner. And if you start this, you get 1,000 stones, everyone. 1,000 stones. A free 10 pull. I mean, I know luck aside, we don't know how we're going to do. However, a free 1,000 stones which you can use now or into the future. That is a great bonus. Keep in mind that there is a time limit up to July 31st, but most of us will be starting tomorrow and getting our 1,000 stones because most of us are broke. Finally, for those who spend stones, 2,000 and 4,000 package, you can buy them twice. So, let me know also in the comments below, are you hyped for this update? Are you ready to start this tomorrow? What are your plans for the banner? How much are you going to budget and how much are you going to spend? Or are you just going to take the more straightforward route and Star Dream that right off the bat? Keep in mind that if you do a Star Dream, some people do like delaying it because that way they can pull first, see if they miss, and then go for the Star Dream. So when I say Star Dream right away, obviously that means up to you. You can also pass on that. Now, as of myself, I know a lot of people are wondering, Will, are you going to go broke on this banner like the other 2 units you just summoned? And my initial impressions of this banner is I'm only going to be budgeting 2k stones, so 2 10 pulls. That is the free 1,000 as well as maybe 1,000 or even 2,000 for my own stash. And that may be very surprising to you, but I'll let you know my theory on this as well as my opinion on this banner and why I'm planning to do that tomorrow evening once the update hits. Of course, I will be tempted by the gadget just like all of you, so regardless of what happens, I wish you all great luck in your banner. I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this new update. I know that this is going to be a huge grind, and just to let you know, tomorrow is actually my gamer mom and gamer dad's wedding anniversary, and so I'm not sure how much content I'm going to be putting out, although I'll be putting out some content. She is gracious enough to let me play the game and provide some content to you all, and I'll make it up to her this weekend by taking her out to something nice. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.